Hello, this is Marisa Herrera. Thank you for watching my video. Today I'm at Terry's Pet Food Store in Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. And Terry is going to explain to us some of the litter options that are available if you have a cat. Hi Terry, thank you for being with us today.
Good to have you here.
Well, thank you. Would you be able to tell us some of the options people will have?
Okay. Well, we're going to start with your basic, which is what was on the market for many years and you had no other choice but to go for clay. Okay. This is cheap to buy, but I find it a lot more expensive in the long run to use, and it's a lot more work. The reason being, well, you have to change the box every time. Okay, there's no way you can actually just remove the waste and throw it out. Waste is really important, I mean, because we're going to end up with mountains of cat litter one day. When you think about it, one box changed every day, that's for one cat. I mean, you're looking at, you know, tons and tons of cat litter being thrown out every day, and eventually we'll have to live with it. So there are better solutions now to the problem, and it's to go maybe to in between. Clumping is, you'll end up using less of it, okay, because all you have to do is take the stones out. You don't have the liners, so there's no plastic waste. So the choices are really great here for clumping, and that's what most people use now. Depending on the budget, you can start as low as $15 for 40 pounds.
And that would be easy clean?
That would be easy clean, and you'd be looking at least a good 5 weeks supply here for one cat.
Right.
Okay.
But that's not biodegradable, and it has to go into the dump.
Exactly.
Right.
So the waste, what you scoop out every day, has to go in a garbage bag and will end up in the dump.
Right.
But the budget can be a factor for many people. This is not the best, but that's what I would call middle of the road.
Right.
My concern is the fact that it's clay base, but my biggest concern is the silica in the food. That will never go away anywhere for the thousands of years to come.
Right.
And there is a safety concern when the cat actually cleans himself. What does he do to the inside? There is a health issue.
Let's just say someone is really concerned about obviously the health issue to his or her cat, and the fact that this is not biodegradable, so it's not exactly a green choice.
No.
So what would be a greener choice and something that is safer for my cat?
There are many choices, and many companies have found out that fiber can actually clump, and fiber is it's actual food, so it's really harmless to the cat. Now we have quite a few choices. We'll start with as a fiber, the wheat, okay, and it's called Swheat Scoop. Well priced, kind of fine, and some people complain about the fact it clumps and turns into a mush. Okay, so that's one thing to keep in mind. I'm really happy with the other option, like the world's best, made of corn. Okay, there is another one made of a different source, different medley of fibers called pea pod, and the feedback on this one has been fantastic because it's less dusty than the other three.
Right.
Okay. I forgot to mention the crystals.
Oh,
crystals,
yes.
Sell well. People like the idea. Well, first of all, my cats hate it. Right? Yes, their choice. But first of all, my cats don't like it. They don't want to step on something really hard and rocky like this. Right. They like the fine stuff. And there again, those blue stones are really a medical concern for me.
That's right.
Okay.
Well, it's cobalt chloride.
This is
and this could be toxic to your cat.
And when you think that the only purpose of those blue stones is to let people know when it's time to change the box, obviously you notice it when it's time to change the box. So this is something that I want people to be aware of. This is another choice that they have, but it's not really on top of my list at all.
And the other thing, you have to put it in the dump as well. Obviously, we cannot
You
flush
do.
it, and you cannot put it in your
That's right.
compost. It will not biodegrade.
What I really liked about the three I mentioned here, and I forgot one, number 4, Clump and Flush is a really excellent product, again made of corn, and they all can be flushed down the toilet or in the compost. So this is something that's disappeared. We're not going to have to live with it forever, and really healthy for the cat.
Yes, I have to say I use Clump and Flush, and prior to that I used the Swheat
Swheat
Scoop,
Scoop.
and I like them because they clump, they are biodegradable, they're flushable, and what I do, I put them in my compost actually. But what I do is remove the fecal material,
Okay.
and but it will decompose, so that's a green factor to me that is
Right.
important, and I know it doesn't have any health concern for my cats as
Right,
well. No,
right.
they're not going to get any
And I
kind
know
of...
how much you like your cats.
Yes, I mean, they're my babies. So I have to ensure that I select the best in terms of health, and not only for my cats, but for the environment as well.
Yes. There are some personal concerns too, like some people find it too dusty, but those issues are not really important when you use this kind of stuff, because you know very well it's really healthy for your cat. Now, we forgot 2, and one is the feline pine. I will bring you the bag. And these are pine pellets, okay? It doesn't clump, it's not a clumping one, but it will absorb all the urine, and the urine and the moisture in the solids is what the smell comes from. And so you've got the nice smell of pine, and you can actually use it in the compost again.
A concern I've read about this type of litter is that the phenols in the pine or cedar could be very strong. Again, that could create
The
problems
smell,
too. Exactly.
the eye smell. too.
Exactly. So it could be it could trigger a reaction to your cat.
That's right.
They might be allergic, so that's an issue that has to be considered
Yep, yep.
if you want to opt for this type of litter.
Yes, yes. Stay away from cedar. There are many out there with cedar, but cedar oil is actually can be quite nocive for cats.
Yes, toxic, exactly. Yes, it's good to have the options, because not all litters are alike, obviously. There are various items that one needs to consider. Price, obviously, a factor, whether it's biodegradable, clumpable,
Correct.
flushable, compostable, right? And the health concerns for the cats, which is
Yes.
obviously, in my opinion, the top concern.
Yes, we care for them, and they are just like our babies, and the best is to be used.
Right.
One I forgot, and last is recycled paper. That can be done. There are many out there, but you really have to make sure to use the cleanest quality paper, recycled paper that you have. Some will have still the dye and ink in it. So this, yesterday news, is a fine choice. Again, it doesn't clump, but just like the pine, you can flush it down the toilet or recycle it.
And another thing I think we need to mention is the fact that listen to your cats, right? Watch how they react to the change of litter, and whether they like it or not, because they are the ones who will be using it.
Yes, and if they don't use the box, you know you have a problem, and it's time for something different.
That's right. Well, Gary, thank you very
You're
much.
welcome. Good
This
to have
has
you
been
here.
very useful.
Thank you.
This is Maris Herrera. Thank you again for watching. Wishing you green and healthy living for you and your pets.